Welcome to utilizing the features of JMC's Refreshed New Family Enrollment Portal. Here on April 24th, we're excited to get into it with you all to show you what the new Family Enrollment Portal is like. This is an In Case You Missed It webinar, which means we did host this same webinar earlier about a month ago. And in case you missed it, we're back for more and to take a closer look at things. So thank you for joining us today. I'm Chris Cooper. I've been with JMC for 3 years or so. I've been in education for about 18 plus years in various capacities. And I am with JMC as a client service specialist and part of the training and support teams. And it's my opportunity here to tell you a little bit about some of the new features that we are rolling out and will be coming your direction very soon. I have 2 other team members on the call today helping to fill in the gaps and point us in the right direction. So Paul and Lisa, if you would like to take a moment to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Lisa, you go first, since you're the technological wizard of the crew.
Great, that's what I'm known as. I am Lisa, that is a school counselor in Eastern Iowa. I've been with JMC as a client service specialist for a little over a year, and I've worked in education for about 20 plus years as either a high school English teacher and now for the past 16 years as a school counselor. And in all those roles, the districts I've been with have been JMC schools. So I've been very fortunate, and I'm glad I'm here today.
And Lisa, you're going to be joining us at the summer conferences. Is that correct?
I do believe I will be there. Yes.
Okay, we're excited to have you there to help us out, and having a great speaker this year, Joe Beckman. So if you haven't heard about it already, we're doing our summer conferences the 3rd week of June, and Chris will talk about that at the end, but you should be there. So I'm Paul Freed. I'm the lead trainer at JMC. I've been with JMC for 20 years. Was a teacher before that in the Twin Cities, and love helping schools use JMC efficiently so that they can spend time with their kids and their parents and all those kinds of things as well. So we're excited to have Chris host this today. So take it away, Chris.
All right, thanks guys. As always, we want to entertain any questions that you may have, or I guess anything that you notice along the way that you'd like to draw our attention to, clarify any of those pieces. And so Paul and Lisa and I will all be trying to keep an eye on that chat, and please do use that feature if you would like to ask a question. We'll pause at the end of each section to entertain those questions that are there and see if we can find some answers. So as we dive into it, we're considering the new family enrollment portal. Out with the old, in with the new, a better process. New families in the district is great news. It means new students, growth, and opportunity, but it can also mean a substantial amount of paperwork and a significant burden on office staff. If the process is clunky, manual review and data entry create an additional administrative workload and increase the likelihood of errors. The result can be time-consuming, inefficient, and lead to delays in the enrollment process. At JMC, we say there's a better way. JMC's new family enrollment portal streamlines the entire enrollment process, automating data entry and eliminating the need for manual paperwork. The portal makes it simple for families to submit their enrollment data while enabling quick, efficient review by your office staff. With improved accuracy and time savings, an efficient enrollment process benefits both the districts and your new families who are coming to have a new experience with you in your district. So we're going to take a quick look at this, since this is a new, basically every screenshot you're going to see in the new family enrollment process is a new thing. We're going to review how that's come to be here and some of the features of it. New family enrollment is now open 24/7, 365. One of the benefits of this portal is that it allows families to quickly enter their demographic data, enrollment forms, and other essential information about students who are going to be enrolled in your district from the comfort of their home at any time, night or day. Once they submit that data, that new contact and student record can be viewed and accepted in the office with just a quick review and a click of a button. Here are 7 ways that we strive to make the new family enrollment portal a benefit to your district community. The first is that 24/7 online registration access. They can do it from their comfort of their home, at their convenience, any time or day. They don't need to make that trip into the district office. Number 2 is that it's a time saver for the office and new families. Again, not having to obtain those paper forms, fill them out, return them manually, multiple trips to and from the office. With this streamlined process, school staff can quickly accept applications electronically with just a few clicks. And it saves your office staff than need to manually enter all that data into JMC Office. It's pulled right into your system and records are created. You also have the opportunity for clear and personalized communication, ensuring families can stay up to date with regular updates, personalized messages from your school, providing them with valuable insights into the status of their application, and fostering a strong connection with the district. Benefit number 4 is a seamless transition. It facilitates a seamless transition for families by providing them with a centralized platform to submit a comprehensive profile of their child. From parent or guardian details to additional information vital for the district's understanding of their child, everything's conveniently accessible in one place. So we're going to look at those details here as we work our way through the presentation. That includes things like an IEP, a 504 plan, additional grandparents or other adults who are going to be regularly involved in that child's education. Being able to submit all of those details at the very front is a really a benefit for that kid to hit the ground running when they get into your district. Benefit number 5 is to say bye-bye to outdated systems. Again, releasing those traditional paper and pencil application processes, the risk of lost submissions, shuffled papers, missing pieces, all those we're trying to eliminate with an online enrollment process. Our new family enrollment portal eliminates errors stemming from manual data transfer, as all necessary information from prospective families is sent directly from them to you in JMC Office. That allows you to have an accurate data collection and review. It's just a few clicks, a very simple process. We're going to take a look at that today as well. And just eliminating those enrollment roadblocks, anything that would be slowing down the process, multiple trips into the school, all of those pieces. The goal is to make it simple and straightforward. We'll have handy features you can kind of see in the screenshot. We're going to take a closer look at them, such as that progress bar for seamless navigation, multi-language support up in the corner, easy information editing and review options, all enhancing the user experience. So with our new enrollment portal, I really think that your users, your families are going to have a better experience than they've ever had in the past. So it looks like we might even have a question right off the start here.
Somebody said they can't hear. It's Tori. I'm guessing other people can hear because they didn't type in. I will, and also since I can hear you, I'm just gonna send a message back to her. So you can just keep going. I'll check in with her.
Okay. Lisa, are you able to hear me loud and clear?
Yep, you're loud and clear on my part.
Okay. So maybe specific here to that situation. So we'll keep going. Some key takeaways in understanding JMC's refreshed new family enrollment portal are that this gives families access to enroll students anywhere, anytime. Our goal is to save families time and to save your office time. And then we make it easy for you to customize what you want your families to know from the very start. That is our goal, is that from their very first experience in your district, that they're going to understand that communication process and have clear steps to follow. So let's dive right into a closer look at this. The problem we're trying to solve here was all data funneled through the office. Office pros were once the gatekeepers of all data entered into the system. This inefficient process meant hefty workloads for office pros and excluded families from the process of sharing their own information and data with the school system. Our solution was to create a portal where families can enter their own data. With JMC's enrollment system, families can conveniently access and manage their information, providing them with a sense of ownership and autonomy. This shift in responsibility from the office staff to the families not only streamlines the enrollment process, but also ensures data accuracy and reduces administrative workload. So this is what it looks like. We have designed it so it really works on all devices: desktop, laptop, iPad or tablet, and a phone. It's available to families at all times, and all that information can be submitted from home or even while they're on the go. Your prospective new school district will send you a link for their new family enrollment page, where you can fill out your family's contact information and student demographic data. So in this section, we're going to really take a look at what does it look like for those new families and those students. When your new families are finished, they can submit the information to kick off the enrollment process with the district. So again, from the perspective of those families, to start the enrollment process, read through your school's instructions on the welcome page and click Get Started when you're ready to start the enrollment process. Step 1, enter your family's contact information and the anticipated start date in the Enter Parent Guardian Information section to provide essential contact details to your school. Step 2, click that Next button to proceed to the Add Contacts for those outside of your household section. So everything related to the parents and guardians is in one section. You're going to see across the top our progress bar. We'll come back to that in more detail later, but each section is self-contained. Helpful tip: if you are entering information for a two-parent household, enter both of the parents' first names in the first name field to list both parents as primary contacts. And a fun fact, that progress bar I just pointed out monitors your progress toward completing the new family enrollment form throughout the entire process. So your family is going to know right where they are in that process and how much they have left to reach completion. Step 3, click the Add a Contact link to enter contact information for people from separate households who are connected to your students. That may be divided families, that may be a grandparent, a neighbor who's going to be involved, and you want that contact information to be involved, to be connected at the school level. It could be an aunt and uncle, any contact that you think the office is going to need for your students. Step 4, enter contact information for additional contacts, like those grandparents, aunt and uncle, daycare providers, in the fields appropriate. And then step 5, click the Add Contact button to include the contact information with your enrollment submission, or click the Cancel button to discard it. Step 6, repeat those steps 3 through 5 to add information for any additional contacts you would like attached to your child or children. As a helpful tip, this little pencil icon next to the contact to edit, click on that and you can edit the contact information, or click the trash icon if you would like to delete that contact. And that is available throughout the process, making it easy to review, to edit, or to delete any information that you've added in the past. Then click that Next button to proceed to enter information for your child or children. Step 8, click the Add a Child card to enter your student's demographic and educational background information. Step 9, enter your child's name, date of birth, grade, and other important information to share with your new school. Step 10, click the Add Child button to save your child's information, or click the Cancel button to discard it. As a helpful tip, that pencil icon is still available to edit the child's information, or you can use that trash icon to delete a child's information that you've entered already. Step 11, you can click the Add a Child link to enter information for another new child to the district, a sibling perhaps, or click that Next button to proceed to enter any helpful comments about your children section. Step 12, enter any information you would like the school to know about your children in the comments field. Maybe related to how or extra supports you're concerned about, extracurricular activities, anything that your families want the office to know, they can put in right here. And we're going to see that it's available to the office at the very top of that review form. And then for step 13, click Go to Review button to save your comments and to proceed to the Review what you submitted, what you provided before submitting section. That section looks like this. Step 14, review the information entered in each section of the new family enrollment form. Click that pencil icon if needed to edit the information that's provided. As a fun fact, whoops, there we go. Once you've updated enrollment information, you can return directly to the review section by clicking the Back to Review button, or walk through the remaining steps by clicking the Next button. I just also want to point out one of the things that I think is really cool about this navigation bar at the top is it's navigable also. So your families, if they're here, anything that they've already completed, they can jump back to that section directly by clicking here at the top as well. So it's not just a visual aid, it's also an opportunity to navigate their way back to a section needed. So I think our dev team has really done a good job of putting those finishing details on the whole process here. Step 15, place a check mark in the I'm not a robot reCAPTCHA box to confirm that you are not a bot. Step 16, click the submit button to send your enrollment information to your school. And as a fun fact, you'll have a high five pop-up that's going to inform you that your enrollment information has been successfully submitted and will detail the next steps in that enrollment process. And these pages will all be customizable by your screen. I mean, the welcome and the ending pages will be customizable, so you can provide those next step instructions for your schools. So we are going to take a live look at entering and submitting new family enrollment submissions here today. And Paul and Lisa, please feel free to jump in at any time here if there's something you want to point out. So this is a non-edited welcome screen. Of course, for your school, you're going to want to put in your logo, maybe an icon of your, it could be an image of your school, or the Wildcats, whatever your mascot would be, and then whatever welcome instructions you want to be here. And then once they get there, they're going to go ahead and enter the process.
So I'll jump in, Chris. Say like, yeah, welcome to our, welcome to our school. You can have an open door or whatever you want, because that's the first thing, and like you were saying, it's 24/7 access. So somebody calls up Brenda Rozier at TCU and says, we want to enroll our kid. Great, I'm going to send you this right now. Boom, they click on that screen comes up. Hey, thanks for your interest in TCU school in South Central Minnesota. Please go through this, whatever you want that first impression to be. That's what they're going to get there. And then it will take them right to this screen as well.
That's right. And in order to get there, of course, the icon landing screen for your school has the opportunity to jump right there. That new family enrollment is what's going to get them there. And that's what the URL is that you can share with those families as well. Okay, so we see the first section here. We can go ahead and enter some information, parents and guardians. I'm going to just make up some things as we go here.
While you do that, I like to fill time. I was just laughing because I don't know how these bots or whatever, I don't know how they put information in, but I just had somebody sign up for a sales presentation and his or her email address was mrbeastisrich@gmail.com. And I was like, that's not a real person. So I appreciate that we are trying to stop whatever these computers do from being able to come in and do that stuff right there. So
that's right.
As Chris will show you, we got helper text in there, easy to do. Unlike the previous one, if you clicked on your new family enrollment in your current application, you would see it's all on one page and can make it really hard to see. Here we got that one stop to go in and put that information in. So,
and we can see from the start where we are in the process. This is the first section. This is where we're going to be progressing to get to that submit, review and submit page. And got in all the details I want to add here now. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. On this page, I have the option then to add another contact. That could be the aunt, the uncle, the daycare provider, all those pieces we kind of mentioned before. I can go ahead and jump back to the next section if I would like to, previous section. But I'm going to continue to proceed just for the sake of our time, because we have several more sections we're going to be looking at here. We're on the student details section now. So I'm going to click to add a child.
And we've added some new fields here, right? So for those schools that have used this before or are currently using it, because you can start using it right now. Let's be rolling the refreshed one out here, I think this summer. We'll see as Chris goes down here that we've got more and expanded fields. So we've worked with schools. I just picked up Brenda because I see she's on the list, but from TCU, they're one of the schools that piloted this for us a few years ago, gave us some fields. We've been getting feedback from other schools as well. You crack me up, Chris, that you're looking for a real birth date. I just want.
I mean, it's required to get to the next screen. I gotta get something in there.
Absolutely. There's the grade level. Yep, listed there as well. So they have the cell phone, home language. The genders actually are based on your home state. So I think this is an Iowa database. That's why they have the 3 options there, where your state might not have those 3 options, or might have more, depending on what your state requires. And then we get to these items here: the 504 plan, special education, gifted, talented, needs busing, has attended this district previously, with the school name, school, city, state, and that website. That website's been really helpful for schools, because then if they need to find out what state school it is, if you just put in there Lincoln Elementary, there's 50 Lincoln Elementaries in the Midwest, right? This way, you can put whatever you want in there, the parent can put what they want there, and then they know exactly what school, exactly what school the student attended.
Mm-hmm. Lisa can probably speak to this, but this is an important field for me. I'm in Nebraska, but the school website saves me a lot of time tracking down the exact school that maybe they didn't put in the full name, or they didn't put in the city. If I can get a school website, then I can send a records request right away. I can go to that website and find out how to get that records request to the right person. So this is a great field here, I think. And once we've got all
I
those,
would agree.
yeah,
Not to interrupt, Chris,
please do. Sorry.
but I would agree that it helps you pinpoint exactly like which building even, and to make
Mhm.
contact with that school's counselor or secretary or administrator. That's been
Yes. I think you cut out a little bit at the end, but I absolutely affirm what you're saying, Lisa. Pinpoint the exact school and person that we're going to get that records request to. And then once these are all filled in here, I'm going to click the add child button here. Whoa, what did we get here? Okay. We got bumped a little bit here.
It was Lisa talking too much there. Oh, there we go. Yep. There we go.
always.
You can skip that one, right? Because
I'm
we
gonna
talked
see if
about
I can
that
go
already.
ahead and skip ahead here. Michaela was added. I don't know what that was. Again, this is like this is a dev site. So it's about to be released, but not being released yet. So there is all my information I needed. I can go ahead and add a new child here as well, or I can continue on to the next section. And this is the last section before review. It's just a chance to type in any helpful comments about our children. Michaela is very interested in the after-school equine program. Can we get more information about that? Anything that you think would be helpful for the school to know, your families would be helpful for you to know, would think that is helpful for you to know. That's really what this is for. Anything that they want to communicate to you from the very start. And I clearly can't type while I'm talking. I can't do either well. So I'll just put in a quick comment here and then we'll move on to the next, unless you have anything else you want to add, Lisa or Paul.
Nope, there's a question, but we'll wait till we get to the end of this section, then we'll go through the question. I was laughing, Chris, because you're right. You're typing in very specific things. I love it. I'm usually just typing gibberish in, so keep it going.
I mean, you may have noticed Michaela in this case speaks Old English, not just English. I think it's funny the options that we have there, but the level of detail is very important. So I think you're going to find that there's nothing missing. I get to this last bit. I am not a robot, in fact. So I'm going to go ahead and click that reCAPTCHA button. I'm going to submit information. This is my chance, though, before I do, to review, edit each of those sections. And it's a nice, tidy screen. I think our creative team has worked really well to put this piece together. It's very attractive, I think, and very easy for families to see all the pieces that they need to. So I do think we made a lot of improvements in this area. I'm very proud of the work that the team's been doing. I'm gonna go ahead and click that submit button. And then we get this high five screen where, again, you can customize it. You can add some other details here, next steps, contact information. As Paul mentioned at the opening screen, to kind of let your families know what will happen next and how they can continue to stay connected to your school. What I also love about this is once you click OK, this is over the top of that parent login page. So they're going to get an email right away, as I understand it, that will give them instructions on how to access this, what they're going to use for username and password, and they can get connected to that family portal right away, which is what you want your families to do, to be able to check on grades, communicate with teachers, see academic progress, attendance, all of those pieces. So we're not waiting at all. We're connecting them to that immediately. So having gone through that whole process, what do we have in terms of other questions or comments before we jump into our next section?
The one question that came in is, when is this going to be released? And I think it's this late spring, or at least by the summer conference. Is that right, Chris? Or do you have it?
That's right. Yes, I think we're very, very close right now. We're testing in the last stages of that. And so we had targeted early spring. We found a few more little fixes to make. We've added some other details here I didn't point out here, such as on those screens. Let's see if I can refresh it. The language at the beginning. There's a language option I didn't highlight there, but we did highlight it in our screenshots. So there are a few other details that we're adding to just kind of fine tune things here, but we're very close. So I think late spring and certainly before summer conference is the goal. All right, having said
Great.
that, should we keep rolling?
Let's do it.
Okay. couple of highlights here. They were just the things I was mentioning. So you can track your progress by using the bar at the top. They can also use that to jump back to any step that they would need to edit before submitting. There are language settings available in the top right of the page, allowing families to communicate in a way that's comfortable for them, and that adding and editing information is available throughout the entire process. So we really want to make that easy to empower your families to get started on the right foot. So having said that and looked at that more deeply, we're going to take a look at things from the office professional's viewpoint. The problem we are facing has been no notification for new students. I'm going to slow down a little bit here. In the past, Office pros had no way of knowing when a new family had filled out and submitted their application for enrolling their child in the district unless that family reached out directly to the school. So our solution in JMC Office, as soon as a family submits their enrollment form, school staff members are promptly notified on the main JMC Office homepage. This immediate notification enables Office staff to quickly review the application and initiate the enrollment process for the student. The new family enrollment portal allows families to quickly enter all that information. After they submitted it, the school staff can immediately view the information and choose to either reject or accept a new family contact and student information. Accepting that information automatically creates the family and student records in JMC Office for you. So again, saving time and potential errors, because if it's accepted here, it's going to go ahead and create those records for the family and the student on your behalf. To get started reviewing submissions and accepting new families into your district, log into JMC Office and go to Enrollment Forms, Family Enrollment Forms, or click the Pending Family Enrollment Submissions alert on your JMC homepage. Once you're on this page, step 1 is to select Pending from the drop-down list to review data submitted by families that has not yet been accepted by the office. Step 2, click on a family name from the incoming contacts list to select the family information that you want to review. As a fun fact, JMC will list families in the order that their submissions were received to ensure a first come, first served status. That's important, I think, especially for private schools and some schools who may have charter schools, anyone who may have a limit to enrollment, that you know that you're seeing those there by the order that they were received. Step 3, review the contacts in the proposed new contacts box to verify that the information submitted is ready to be imported. Helpful tip, if you find a contact that you do not want to import, maybe there's missing information or you think it might be a duplicate of a previous student, or maybe it was a parent who didn't understand this is new family enrollment and they're just trying to find that online registration for next year. I think that these are all scenarios that we heard about last time, right, Jody? These things can happen. Then you can certainly remove that checkbox to discard that part of the submission. Fun fact, pre-existing records in JMC will be marked red with the import contacts checkmark removed to avoid creating duplicate contacts. So we are trying to help you out by identifying those things in as much as we can. It isn't a perfect system because we know parents, the same parent may come back 30 minutes later and fill it out in a different way than they did the first time, just decisions on that input side of things, but we are trying to help you out and support you in that. Step 4, review the proposed new students list and choose the appropriate building from the building drop-down list to assign each student to the building. Helpful tip, to import the family record but skip specific students, simply remove the checkmark from the import student checkbox. And step 5 is optional. If you'd like, at the end of this, you can click that print button to save a PDF copy or print a copy of the new family registration information for your future reference or for your physical files. Step 6, click the accept button to import the family and student information, or click the reject button to omit the data import from the application. And if you do whatever you choose to do here, you will not lose that forever. It's going to change from this pending list in the dropdown to completed, and we'll take a look at that in our live look here. Fun fact, after accepting a family information, after accepting one family submission, information for the next family on the incoming contacts list will display, allowing you to keep that process going. You can keep accepting and reviewing those new applications that have been submitted. Helpful tip, when you accept or reject a family's application, JMC will email the family the predefined message that is set up in the enrollment forms, family enrollment settings, providing families with the next steps they need to proceed. And we'll take a closer look at that in our next section as well. So let's take a live look now at reviewing new family enrollment submissions. So here I am signed in on the JMC office side of things. I know I can access this page we're looking for right here by clicking that pending family enrollment submissions. There's one submission that I made today. Or we can head to enrollment forms and click on family enrollment forms to get to that same page. It's going to default here to pending in the drop-down list. You can also view past forms by clicking on completed, and then we'll see a list there of all those that have been processed prior by the office. So you can access those again if you need to. But right now we're looking at that pending. It automatically brings up the information for that first family on the list, in this case, the only family. That note from the parent is right here. This is not the one I did just now because we know that this was our dev site. So this is a live site. This is a note that I entered first. I love that that note is right at the very top here in case, well, just so that it won't be overlooked in the process of reviewing. Then I can review all of the information that's here. If it looks like it's good and ready to be imported, I'm going to leave that checked. If not, I'm going to uncheck the import contact checkbox. And I'm going to do the same thing with the proposed new students. And if you have multiple students, they will all be here, each with their own checkbox. I'm going to have an opportunity to select the school building. If you have multiple school buildings in your JMC database, that it's appropriate for that student at that grade level. And then I have the option here to print if I would like to save it and accept or reject the submission. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and accept it here in a second. Paul and Lisa, is there anything that you're wanting to add? And we can go ahead and take a look and see if there are any questions that need to be answered as well, I think.
There's no questions. You know, this is just that this is the classic JMC view, right? And that will be updated as time goes on as well. But easy to use. It's all on one page. Process information. It's straightforward.
Yep. And as you kind of alluded to there, Paul, eventually you can expect things to look something more like this in terms of the scheme and the overall look of JMC. And that's being rolled out kind of bit by bit as we really kind of reevaluate each piece. I'm going to go ahead and click accept here. Then I see if I had another family submission waiting, it would automatically populate. Since I don't, I have a blank page here, but I can go back and click on that completed view to find, well, the most recent is going to be at the bottom. So there's the submission that we just processed. And that means that this contact information has been imported already, and the student information as well. So great. I think if there are no questions, we're going to continue on to the next bit. This is the bit about customizing what exactly your families are going to see and giving them the information that's specific to your school. But before we do that, we'll just review that you can access pending or completed by using that dropdown there. You can select which contacts you want to import, just like you would select which students you want to import. And that important note is featured at the very top of the review process. All of this is about putting together those pieces and making sure that accepting or rejecting new family enrollment submissions is easy, simple, and it will give you a head start on new data entry for those new families coming to your district. Okay, so in the next section, we're going to take a look at the problem that enrolling is confusing and inefficient. We wanted to create a timely and effective way to invite interested families to enroll in the district. The solution is easy access for families where they are. We want you to be able to provide your families with a convenient link, enabling them to submit their enrollment data at their own convenience. So again, on that first page, we would just grab this URL and go ahead and highlight it. I'm using Command C to copy on a Mac, or Control C, I believe, on a Windows. That can be shared. If you know a new family's contact you interested, they can of course find it from this page. If they can find it, if they are find via your website, this page with all the badges, they can jump right to it via the new family enrollment button that's right here. But if they contact the school, then your Office Pro, your admin, whoever's handling that, processing that communication, can grab this URL, email it back to them as a link, and they'll find this page and begin the process right away. So that's pretty straightforward. Let's continue rolling. I'm not seeing any questions about that piece, but we just want to remind you that that's very handy and very easy for you to communicate with those new families. So the final problem we're looking at is how to communicate effectively with new families. They're new to your district. They don't know what the normal communication channels are yet. And so we want their first experience with JMC and your district to be as clear as possible. We want to create an efficient way to inform families about next steps in the new family enrollment process. So our solution looks like this. This is a great example of that welcome page if it were customized. You've got the future tiger there. You've got the step-by-steps, what they can expect, what to do to get started. So the goal here is to guide new families through the enrollment process and help them connect with your school by creating custom instructions and messages that families will see in the new family enrollment portal when submitting an application to your district. Keep the enrollment process rolling by providing follow-up steps for families once their information has been accepted or rejected. Here's an example of that piece. Automated emails can be set up to provide important details about next steps to families who have successfully completed the enrollment process, been accepted into your school, or if you need that additional information to be able to process their application sufficiently. By leveraging this feature, you can ensure timely communication and provide families with clear instructions on what to expect and what actions they need to take. And I would just say the automated emails also really benefits your office staff, that they do not have to keep track. Did someone contact this family? Did you do it? Did I do it? Did we do it? It's automatically generated when they're imported in that process. And we're going to take a look at those pieces here. This is a sample of what that would look like coming to your families from the office. To process those custom application submission messages, we're going to go to enrollment forms and family enrollment settings. So it's right below where we were before to process those incoming. We're headed to family enrollment settings right below there. And we can get started customizing your enrollment portal instructions. Step 1, place a check mark in the new family enrollment application checkbox, which is located in the application access box to allow new families to access the enrollment application. So this is an important step to note that even though everyone has new family enrollment available, we'll be rolling out the updated form soon, but in order for families to be able to access this, does need to be checked right here. Step 2, enter your school's custom message in the application submission text box to display a message to the family after they've submitted an application. So this first box is what they're going to receive once they hit that submit button. Step 3, enter your school's custom message in the accepted application message box to email the family upon accepting the application in JMC office. Fun fact, when an application is accepted, when I click that accept button in the office, JMC will email the family your message and include the family's JMC username with a link to set their family password. So that's that piece we were talking about where they end on that JMC family portal, and this is where they get that username and a password right away. So again, this first box on the page is what they will receive when we click that submit button, when they click that submit button rather. Second is the accepted button if we hit the accepted button in the office. And then finally on the page, step 4, enter your school's custom message in the rejected application message box to email a message to the family upon rejection of the application in the JMC office. Helpful tip, include information such as contact Jane in the office and a phone number to set up an appointment, whatever would be the next steps in the application process to your families. So this may be that there is incomplete information. You couldn't, so if you're going to reject it, then you're going to ask them to contact the school and say, well, we do need to have additional fields here, this, and this. And so that's why. It's the opportunity to let them know why it was rejected and how to take action on that rejection so that they can start the process again or do whatever that piece may be. Step 5, click the save button to save your custom messages for new families. So we're going to jump over to our JMC site here and take a look at that. Again, here we were at enrollment forms, family enrollment forms to process applications. And we're going to jump right below that to enrollment forms and family enrollment settings, where I notice that my application access is granted. It is active for families because this checkbox is selected. That's good. I can enter and modify with all of the usual bold, italics, fonts, all those pieces, customize my message for those families when they hit that submit button. That's this first application submission message box. Then we have for those applications accepted, once it's processed, this is what will be emailed out to my families when I accept that. Or if I have to reject an application, then I have instructions here about how to contact the school or continue the process. These can be edited, revisited at any time, and then just make sure to click save if you've made changes on this page. Paul and Lisa, do you have any thoughts or wisdom, any bits and pieces that you think need to be pointed out here, or any questions that have showed up while I'm babbling away here?
Lisa, did you have any thoughts?
I just love the thought of the automated message going out with further instructions and that username and password. It's just lickety split taken care of. And I think it will just smooth and streamline all communication and give the parents a good welcome to the district.
Yeah, it's a set it and forget it, and again, it's so much more efficient than doing paper. And people are getting that information so much more quickly all throughout the process. So I also like it. And this is all on one page in JMC Office. You don't have to hunt around. It's all right here.
That's right. I think it's really great that the triggers are built in. So there is a trigger, it's going to be at the right part in the process. Once they've clicked submit, once the application has been processed and either accepted or rejected, there are all those triggers that you don't have to remember. No one has to keep track of. And I just wanted to point out these little links here. If you're having trouble, we have a fantastic little link here that's going to help you find instructions for what you need. Review kind of what we're doing here right now. So if we don't have any other questions at this point, JMC makes it easier for Office pros to track new enrollment applications, as we've been highlighting throughout the process. And the automated email feature keeps families informed about the next steps, just keeps them connected, helping them to know what's going on. We have a couple frequently asked questions here to answer. We kind of addressed this a little bit. When will the new family enrollment portal be available? The latest update, which was actually this morning, is saying late May. So this is coming right from dev team this morning, late May. So you can look for it very soon. What will the cost be for the new family enrollment portal? It's free to JMC schools. In fact, you can access the previous one right now, but then this new one we're looking at today, we're hoping will be available to you by the end of May. How can I stay in the know about the Refreshed New Family Enrollment Portal? Continue to join us for our Refresh Rollout webinar series, and you're going to see that evolving as we take this new look and the new features to all the different pieces of the JMC modules that you know and love already. I don't think we have any current questions about that little piece. So as we head to JMC news and upcoming events, Paul and Lisa, do you want to take turns sharing? Maybe Lisa, do you want to kick us off with this first slide and the updates that are coming with the webinars in May?
Sure. The week of May 1st. On the 1st, there's Nebraska end of year state reporting. The second week of May, we're looking on the 8th, all about the back to school online registration process, which is vital information at this time as we exit one school year and get to the next. And then on the 9th, there is Minnesota reporting. The third week of May, on the 15th, processing back to school online registration submissions. And then lastly, the fourth week of May, it's the importance of GPAs in JMC on the 22nd, and the 23rd, more Minnesota EdFi work.
All right. Paul, do you want to fill us in on the ice cream social?
Did someone say ice cream social? We did. We're hosting a pre-summer conference social hour with games, giveaways, drinks, munchies, and a brainstorm on JMC's family and teacher portals in Minnesota on 6/17 and in Iowa on 6/19. That's the evenings before each of the summer conferences. If your school sends the most attendees, you'll win a loaded ice cream social or scoop up your ticks today. And I think, go to the next one. There's the next one about the summer conference. Let's go back to the previous one then. I just want to say, this, I said in the beginning, but our summer conference this year is going to be awesome. We're moving it from August to June. Every JMC school building, not just the district, the building should send at least one or two people. We're adding in a new item this year, which is Joe Beckman is a great speaker who has spoken at tons of schools in the Midwest. He's a national speaker rooted in Minnesota. And he's going to give a little of an hour talk on improving just school culture. And it's going to be great. It's going to be inspiring. So come to be inspired, come to learn about JMC, come to have us treat you well. And if you want to come the night before, come and join us at the pre-conference social hours as well. So you can click on that. You can also go, I think, to the widget and type in summer conference, I think, and that will bring you that as well. Or you can reach out to the support or training team and we can send you the information.
That's right. Or you can find this presentation on YouTube after this. You'll get an email if you've been registered for it, and you can find this whole presentation, this whole video on YouTube with the presentation link below, and the handy dandy little clickable link here, right to the Eventbrite page is in that presentation. Thanks, Paul. Lisa, back to you.
Robust, new, and ready to use JMC's Community Messenger. If you'd like to enable email and text-to-voice messaging while giving all community members the power to stay in the know on district news, how and when they want it, add JMC's Community Messenger portal for just 42 cents per student. Email sales@jmcinc.com today for that feature.
All right. Paul, do you want to take us home? I think we have, well, just a couple more.
Webinar playback, prepping for back to school online registration. Turn back to school chaos into calm, cool, and collected, literally, with JMC's online registration tools for the 411 on handy registration, collection templates, how to create crystal clear health questions, and enable e-signatures. Catch the training over on YouTube. That's the previous one we did, and we're doing a few more in that series. I tell every school, everybody should be doing online back to school re-registration to get information from your families that are coming back to your school for the upcoming school year.
That's right. I think it's a really easy way to gather all those forms and not be spending all the office time tracking down families looking for things at the start of the year. If you can train your families to use online registration, it's very simple. Just like the new family enrollment is very simple for families who've never been in your district, returning students can do a lot of really powerful things by using online registration. Reason to cheer, we have the new general store portal as well. Are you ready to boost school spirit? That's what the general store portal is all about. It'll take you from a daunting pile of order forms to a fully customizable online store, complete with detailed order tracking and reporting. Stay tuned for that launch in the fall. I think there's a theme emerging here in today's session, and that's we're looking for lots of ways to save you time and to transition from stacks of paper and the errors that come with it to a simplified process. So at the end of our webinar today, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day and join us next time, JMC, to take a look at all the things that we're continuing to innovate for you. Have a great day.